Just a boy, Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am. But right in front of me was the answer. On Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. Ho, ho, ho.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know there's just 117 days until Christmas 2023. Oh, and to all of our friends in Florida, I see Vanessa Floria here. Matt Risman, I know I've been chatting with him this morning. We've got a lot of dear friends down in Florida who are going through some various degrees of bad weather today. and for some of you who are in the path of the worst of it, you guys stay safe and hope that the damage incurred to your property is low and that you keep your power. You keep your power. I know Matt Risman, he's got a big vacation planned, and it's hard to get ready for vacation when you got no power. So hopefully your power stays on. Matt's on the other side of the state from where the worst of it is, but it's still going to be pretty severe where he lives. And so you guys take care down there. You guys, thanks for being here. It's good to talk to you all. And hey, we've got Ahsoka episode 3, season 1, episode 3 to talk about today. And if you guys do me a favor, do all the stuff, you know, the liking, the sharing, the stuff. That's all great. It helps the channel out a lot. And we're simulcasting here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or the app formerly known as Twitter. We're simulcasting across all those. And I fail to mention it all the time, but I post our videos up to Spotify the day after or thereabouts. So as soon as I'm able to download it from YouTube, I go over and upload it over into Spotify. So if you use a podcast kind of streaming app, Spotify will put that, make it available to you there as well. And YouTube has a whole podcast side to it. I've set all of our videos to be able to be listened to via podcast on YouTube platform as well. So I'm doing all the things, and we have a Patreon. That's a great way to support the channel as well, and we post content there. And there are other benefits to being a member on Patreon. One of them being, tomorrow we're going to do a community live stream where you can join the show and talk about the Ahsoka episode with us, and for just $1, right? Jedi Mike, it's just $1, right? You can join on Patreon. Patreon takes less of your money and gives it to the content creators. So if you're supporting Jason Ward at Making Star Wars, or Star Wars Meg, or Echo Base Network, or the Resistance Broadcast, or any number of your favorite content creators, the place that you can impact the greatest is over on Patreon. That's fantastic. So you guys do that. And if you are one of our patrons, then tomorrow you can join the show and you can talk about Patreon, or not Patreon, you can talk about Ahsoka's episode 3 as well. We can get your thoughts and your opinions and just hang out together as a community. So that'll be tomorrow. But today, we're going to go and we're going to rewatch episode 3 right here. And I'll be commenting, discussing it as we watch. You know, that's sort of how we get by with it here. First of all, I'll put the timer over it, set it there. And then we do it like the Mystery Science Theater, you know, back in the day where they had the movie playing and they would chatter about it during. As long as you're providing commentary and discussion about the thing, then you can keep yourself from getting stricken by the YouTube overlords. And you won't be able to hear it here, but you'll see the timer and you'll be able to kind of catch what's going on through the shading that's in front of the screen. And we'll do that together. After the episode airs, then we'll go through the prediction scores. You know, everybody who participates in the predictions game can do that for free. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be subscribed. You don't have to be a patron. You can participate in the predictions game for free. And we'll go through the episode at the end. And if you score as well or better than Santa, then you can show up on the Wall of Fame right there. You see that? Those are the folks who predicted as well or better than Santa for episode 1. And you see none of the folks that are here today. Star Wars Fitch, you see him right there? He's in the chat right now. So you can show up in the Wall of Fame there just by simply getting as many correct or more than Santa for episode 3. We'll be grading those predictions after we do the rewatch. And then we will... here, let me make sure I get the Wall of Fame for episode 2 up there as well. And then we'll take all your scores, we'll put them into a spreadsheet, add everything together. And if you can keep up with Santa for the entire season, for the season as a whole, you get as many correct or more than me, then I will gift you some Star Wars Santa merch. We have a merch store. You can see the link to that in the description here as well. And if you go to the merch store, you can support the channel by buying stuff there. But, you know, I make very, very little on that. A lot of it's like $1. I can make like $1.25. Some of it is the most that I make on anything is $5. But most of the time it's like $1.25, something like that. So it's just the way that it's all set up. And but at the end of the season, if you keep up with me or you beat me and you show up on this leaderboard, so we have the leaderboard here. You see there's a number of people who are on it. My good friend Vanessa Floria, she's in the chat right now too. She's on the leaderboard for the whole season. Oh! And of course, Baymax is out with his girlfriend. She's swimming around or something, and he's watching. So... Don Basham, another good friend right there in the chat, and Sheev the Wise. We got some fantastic people here who are doing the predictions, and you can show up there as well simply by participating in the game and doing as well or better than me. And I know I got a couple of them off right off the bat. There's Sam the Sham. When I saw the hyperspace world, I knew I was off to a bad prediction start. Oh no. It was funny because last night we're watching it and I saw the hyperspace swirl and I said, hyperspace swirl. My wife goes, what? I said, oh, nothing. It's just nerdy stuff. Don't worry about it. So it gives you something else to do when you're watching the show. You can cheer when you get something right. Or like we had KG, she plays along a lot of time. And Kay, she, when we were doing Andor, it was Palpatine would be mentioned, and she said no. And like in one episode, they mentioned his name like 5 times. She's like, okay, I get it. I got it wrong. Stop saying his name. So it's a lot of fun. You guys, we just had a lot of fun playing the game together. As you watch the show, it gives you something to root for. And so here we go. We're gonna start the episode, and we'll talk about it as it goes. I'll try to pay attention to the chat, respond to you guys as we go, and we'll have a discussion. as we go through here. We'll break it down together. We'll discuss it together. I saw somebody ranked it at the very beginning. One of our friends here. Let me go all the way to the top. I saw, where is it? I saw it. Peter Griffin. Peter hangs out here all the time in our chat. He says 4 out of 10. Oof, that's a low score, Peter. And Fitz gave it a 7 out of 10. You know, I started off at a 7.5, and after contemplating it a little bit more, I got up to 8. Uh-oh, Vanessa. Uh-oh, I'm embarrassed because I didn't get my predictions in on time this week. Oh, no. Oh, no. She forgot. Oh, that's, you know who else does that? Nerd Mafia. He always forgets one. So no worries, Vanessa. We see Leia give it an 8 out of 10. Jedi Mike, 9 out of 10. Nikki. Hey, there's another one of my Florida friends. Nikki, hanging out there with the bad weather in Florida today. Although I think Nikki's a little south of the worst of it. And so it should be just a little bit of rain, should be good. But Nikki, too slow again, not the best. Yeah, I had it knocked down to a 7.5 because it's too short. I thought that it should have gone through the little story arc there as they landed on the planet, and then her having the battle with Balin. I thought all that should have been this episode. Looks like it's going to be the next episode that happens. And I thought, this should have been 1 episode, not 2. But then I saw the runtime. The runtimes have already been posted for the next couple of episodes. I don't know if you guys have seen that. But the runtimes for the next 2 episodes, let me see, I've got it right here. Matt Risman shared it this morning. Episode 4 is the runtime 42 minutes, 38.5 without credits. So 38.5 minutes. And if you compare that to what we had last night, you put the 38.5 together with the 34 of this one, it would make it over an hour. And we know they don't like to do that. They like to keep them shorter than an hour. So I understand why they split it, but it would have been nice to go ahead and put those 2 episodes together because that's what it felt like it should have been. And then episode 5 is all the way up at 49 minutes, 50 seconds. 46 minutes, 10 seconds without credits. So 46 minutes. So there's that. Yeah, Nikki, I saw, she said, just bad weather. Not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, all good. Just bad weather, right? There's Sam the Sham, 7.5. Could change with a rewatch. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, they left us hanging with the Balin thing. Yeah. Kev Z, I agree, too short. Mike Porter. We've got the Mike Porter dad joke all queued up for the end of the show. He loved the episode. I did too. I really enjoyed it. My biggest complaint is it was just too short. I knocked a whole point off for that. I would have called it a 9, but I said, you know what? You split it. I knock you down to an 8. Yeah, that's it. Nikki cracked me up with this. This is absolutely hilarious. You're not allowed to say these things, Nikki. Or I can't say them anyway. You know how it is these days. It's not politically correct at all. You know how much trouble Santa would get by saying that. I can't say that. I can't. I'm a white dude. White dudes can't say that kind of stuff. I can't do it. I can't do it. Very funny. Very funny. You guys, great fun. Mike Porter, I have to rewatch because I fell asleep. This morning I rewatched Places You Missed. Very good. Merrick didn't really show super impressive flying skills. So the Anakin clothes theory is out the window. Oh, very true. Very true. Very good. Let's see. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's start the episode. We'll talk about it as it goes. I will start the timer once the Disney Plus logo flies by. We'll let the recap and the intro play so that if you're trying to watch along, you can sync up your Disney Plus stream with us. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, we'll do that to make it easier for you. All right, so here we go. Disney Plus logo. Boom. And start. All right. I'll let that replay go. Oh, so here in the beginning, as they're playing the recap, and through the intro, you keep hearing this clacking sound, like clacky, clacky, clack, 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 right? Keeps playing throughout the intro. I was thinking, I'll bet you anything. This is the training with the wooden sticks. I thought that's the wooden sticks playing in the background. That's Vanessa, thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, we did get some great shooty. You're absolutely right, Mike. Dawn, I'm wondering how bad my predictions have been. Just said it's not watched any lives really. Well, Dawn, you're on the season leaderboard. You're doing quite well. We still don't know why Ahsoka walked away from Sabine, by the way. In the recap, they said, just as I walked away from Sabine. Well, we're still waiting for that. I also saw some folks mentioning something here. It happens fairly early in the episode. Yeah, here we go. You can hear the clacking going on. Sounds like wood stick. Right there. Click, 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 click. Right? You can hear all of that. I thought those are those wood sticks. They're training with those wood sticks. That's what I should have put in. Oh, swirly space. That's when I celebrated right away. I got a point. I got a point on my predictions. Woohoo! Right there. And there you go. And he's calling out the different positions, and she's going through the different movements. He keeps saying set, and she'll reset. Metronome of the samurai. Mike, yes. There you go. I like that training episode with Hu Yang. Not bad, not good. He's constantly putting her down, right? Not only is she a bad Jedi, she's not all that good with her sword fighting either. Yes, at some point I will be needing that Ahsoka Sabine backstory. Absolutely. I need to know why she took her on to train right away. Here she's saying, your skill with the weapon came from Mandalorian. You don't yet have Jedi skills. But why did she pick up Sabine in the first place, like after Rebels? Because we saw Sabine train with the Darksaber with Kanan Jarrus, right? But we didn't see Ahsoka work with her. After Rebels, some point, she started working with Sabine, and then she walked away. Why? It's true. You told her that? Yeah. And then this helmet, I saw a great breakdown of this. It does reflect a samurai helmet, and I don't know why the middle part is like mesh looking when it's completely like, why isn't it just straight white? Sort of like Kanan's visor and Rebels. Kanan wears this visor after he's blinded, and it's solid white. It's kind of scratched up and whatnot. And you go back to watch A New Hope, of course, and you see Luke training with that visor down, a blast shield down. But this is specific training visor to try to get her to quit using her eyes, but to use her other senses, including the Force. Like, where am I? Locate me. Yeah. Concentrate. Yeah. I thought this was a good callback. And I hear a lot of folks saying how slow this episode was. And I think maybe this is part of that feedback. Part of that feedback is saying this went really slow. But I'll say I thought this was good. I thought this was really good. It was showing us that the training is difficult. She's not getting it right away. She has to struggle. Right? She's not connected to the Force. She's trying to use her Mandalorian skills. She's trying to use her ears to hear, and she's still not reaching out to the Force. And Ahsoka walks around, taps her on the shoulder. Every now and then, though, you will see that Sabine does connect through a series, right? Think they're going to have Sabine do something in her live with Bo-Katan or Mando due to that connective tissue? Yes, I do, Dawn. Yeah, there we go. She's just swinging wildly. There's nobody there. But I do think that's going to happen. And Will Morgan pointed out a thing that I think ties into it. Will and I were kind of touching base in DMs on Discord. I don't think it's going to happen in the Ahsoka series. I think we will see it in Mando season 4. So all of this connective tissue, if we're going to use that term, Mando season 1, Mando season 2, Mando season 3, right? All of that is building to this. This is all in the same universe at the same time. So the things that are going on with the New Republic, all the context we get around that in the Mandalorian, as well as then, and we saw a good bit of that in Mandalorian season 3, as well as Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and then Mando season 4. I think Mando season 4, we're very likely to see Sabine return back to Bo. They'll get the broken sword, much like in Lord of the Rings, where the king, the true king, goes and takes the sword, and it's the sword of Isildur, and has it repaired as he then claims his rightful rule as king. And so I do think that we may see Sabine go back and get the broken sword, have it repaired, and take her role as queen of the Mandalore, perhaps ruler of Mandalore. She may be the first, like, Mandalore, where so I think that Narsil. That's right. Will's on it. So this was great. We get Hera going to talk with Chancellor. Chancellor Mon Mothma, and this scene is quite good. We get a lot of exposition here in the form of a discussion, a debate, not just like telling us, but they're having a debate. Hera's sharing information. We do see Kaz's father, Kaz from Resistance. If you haven't watched the animated show Star Wars Resistance, that's him standing next to Mon Mothma, and he is just he's a doofus, right? Very unlikable. There he is. And they're talking about Thrawn, Thrawn being missing and being dead. But I love that Mon Mothma says, "Hey, where's Jason? Jason Syndulla, son of Hera and Jedi Master Kanan Jarrus, that we saw in Rebels at the very end of Rebels." And when you go back and watch Rebels and you put the pieces together, that post, like the epilogue scene of Rebels where you see Jason in that, happens about this time. So they're about the same. And this was a great line. Hera says, "Were you ever in the war?" And she says, "Oh, I see. Just kind of sitting back, waiting to see who came out on top. What were you doing? Just kind of, And he's like, "Oh, burn. Yeah." She stares him down. And then this guy saves him. He's like, "Oh, I'm sure we all appreciate your service. Good job." Yeah. Yeah. They see no enemy. The Imperial fleet is scattered. No central command. This goes, yeah, unless Thrawn returns. We know that the New Republic is decommissioning. We've seen it now several times. We saw it in Mandalorian season 3, where they were decommissioning ships on Coruscant. We've seen already in here where they're decommissioning ships on Corellia. They're uh, they're saying, look, the Empire is wasted. There's nothing there. We don't need a military presence. We certainly don't need to be going on military missions hunting out people because they don't have the ability to do anything. Why are you worried about this? And they're saying, well, but Thrawn, he's a threat. Well, he's dead. What if he's not dead? Let me go check. And there he is, Jason Syndulla. And there was a lot of question about him if he was going to have the green hair we saw in Rebels. And you can see the tint to his hair that it is green. And he says, I want to be a Jedi. Question, like he wants to be a Jedi like his dad. Does he have force sensitivity? I mean, Sabine doesn't, but we see Ahsoka's training her. And this is funny. I heard Jason Ward and Rob Sketchcraft talking about this. The floor that they do the training on, they fall down, they're sweaty, they're training on, then rises up and it becomes a table and they eat on it. You want to wipe that table off a little bit first, get the sweat off of there, get all the shoe, dirt off your shoes. You go clean that table off before you sit down there. But in any event, Ahsoka's training Sabine. She really doesn't have much force sensitivity, if any. And does Jason have force sensitivity? And as Ahsoka points out, the force lives in all living things. So certainly the force is in Jason, but they have sensitivity to it. At this point, Sabine doesn't have really sensitivity to the force. Training and focus defines success. I mean, that's part of it. But I keep going back to, what about our poor boy from Rogue One, right? Yeah. The discipline it takes to master the ways of the Force. Yeah. Start small, sets the cup down. There you go. Start with that. Don Misa loves this table. Yeah, it's a great table, but you got to clean that thing. Wiping off the table is a cut scene. You would think that you'd have like something right there to spritz it off, wipe it down, even before you set down on it, right? Like, I mean, you want to clean that up. Kind of good. Yeah. So here she's saying she's not an acceptable candidate, right? The Jedi would not have accepted. Now this is great because Ahsoka says, "Look, those Jedi standards, it failed." He points out, "Look, there were standards that succeeded for over a millennia, right? The Jedi Order, the Jedi standards, the Jedi practices, they worked for a long time. It was just at the end that they failed, and there's certain things that applies to that." Oh, yeah, you guys are great. And here's Sabine's trying to use the Force to grab this mug. I thought this was funny too, but it only failed at the end. So what happened at the end? Well, you had Palpatine, right, which is an outlier in and of himself, and you also had some folks who kind of got too focused on following the government rather than the will of the force. Um, but this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Space is too cold for germs. She says, "You win this round," to the mug. I thought that was great. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to go back here. Uh, yes, Meg has a great. There, she's sharing the news that they're not going to make it. Um, Sparta 300, apparently Knights of Melvin. So something happened to me, and I don't know if somebody from Melvin's community or somebody else, somebody apparently used my email address with for my channel to start another channel, or at least associated my email with their channel, and then their channel got taken down by YouTube. I got a notification says your YouTube channel has your appeal's been declined. Your YouTube channel is gone. You're dead. I'm like, wait, but they gave the name of this other channel, not my channel. So I don't know if people are trying to do that to take out streamers they don't like. But YouTube content creators bickering amongst themselves is, in my opinion, that's dumb. It's dumb. Look, you do you. Melvin is brilliant. He's smart. He's got a great sense of humor, and he kind of gets it. He understands his brand, and he does a great job doing what he does. I I have differences of opinion from him. It's all good, but I think it'd be dumb to bicker with him because I disagree with him. Um, Anyone else see Sam Whitware saying something about uh, a variation of Star Killer as an Inquisitor in Rebels? Yeah, he's got some folks talking about that. And a lot of people are discussing, is Morak this variant of Starkiller? Is he really a Starkiller um, replacement for this show? I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it. My guess is that Morak is Morak. The end. He's not somebody else. He's not a clone of somebody else. He's not somebody pretending to be somebody else. He's simply who he is. I think that's it. I think that's it. uh, I'm just catching up. Yeah. Knights of Melvin doesn't. He doesn't like Disney shills. But what he does is he calls anybody who likes any Star Wars, since Disney acquired Lucasfilm, he calls them a shill, and he's got again, he has a very clear message that he's after, and he's pursuing that consistently. So he's fine. He doesn't like me, for example. I won Shill of the Week one week. I was quite proud of it. It was quite good. Never heard of the Knights of Melvin. Now look, he's a bit of a mocking of other channels. He's got a great sense of humor. He's a really smart guy. Um, yeah, even Star Wars haters ultimately want Star Wars to be successful. I think for the most part that's true. Merrick is woohoo! I got one. Merrick is a Cara dude. Funny. So we did have a space battle. We had ships firing on ships, and we had a kill. And I noted in the survey, in the predictions form, if a ship blows up with a pilot, then you presume that the pilot is dead, unless there's some specific evidence that he's not. So, yeah, I think we have some kills. We have some kills. um, I did not catch that 4-hour stream, Sparta 300. I have actually been on that show, the Nerd Theory. I've been on there as a guest a couple of times, and in fact, I was one of their very first guests that they had, and I showed up a couple of times. Here he's this Eye of Sion is quite interesting. I think Josh is maybe leaning in a little bit too hard on the Yuzon Vong bit because he's seeing Yuzon Vong everywhere. I was teasing the other day. I think Josh hit the blinkers just a little too hard. It's like, Josh, back off the blinkers just a little, because not everything is Yuzon Vong. I think he's like, oh, look at that. That looks like no, no, Josh. It doesn't look anything at all like Yuzon Vong. Lay off the blinkers, my friend. Like, but I do think they are leaning into EU, like calling this the ISION, for example. We end up getting a scan of it, right? Hu Yang is trying to get a scan of it. He's trying to find out what is this thing, and they're getting closer and closer and closer. It's the reason they're getting so close, and the reason they're not, and they're taking all these hits, is because Hu Yang wants to get this scan, and they got to get closer. And I saw my friend Nikki and others mentioning how many times that Ahsoka's ship is hit and it never blows up. Well, they use deflector technology, which absorbs laser fire, and it can only absorb so much. It ends up burning itself out. So that's why they keep talking about, like, okay, it's down from 100% to 70% to 30%, it's 10%. And so every time they get hit with blaster fire, that shield comes down. What we can see is that this ship scan complete, and they get hit. But it absorbs a certain amount, and then it fritzes out like that, like we just saw, right? So the ships that were firing upon them only had standard laser fire. When you get close to this ISION, you learn that it's got turbo lasers. Turbo meaning more, bigger. And those turbo lasers really did damage to them. And you see parts of the ship are floating off in space. It's really, yeah, you almost got them. Great quotes from other shows, right? Or movies. Yes. Yes, I'm proud to be a shill. Thank you, Leia. Hey, Ethan. Hello there. Balin seems morally ambiguous, like he's in it for the money and power. Yes. Shin seems full tilt. Yeah. And I love these ships. How much did you guys love those ships, like that Shin and them are flying? There was a little bit of a reference you could see in the design back to the pod racers, like Anakin's pod racer, the yellow with the split down the middle. The design of that's very similar, but it's really good. I absolutely love the design of their little fighters. Fantastic. They look great. The sound they make, the look of them, it's brilliant. Now this is getting some criticism. Ahsoka in space, flipping around. I think it's fine. And if you go back to Clone Wars and Rebels, this isn't the first time Ahsoka's done that. You can see a lot of people have talked about it. Oh, we get to slice there that Rey did in Rise of Skywalker. There's that. Yeah. Yeah, Josh does get carried away sometimes. All you have to do is go back to, who is that in Marvel that he was convinced was going to be there and then never showed up? Oh, good stuff. I love the plot Ahsoka show is going for. Look, I think it's great. The whole show, so really good. And Temple, I agree. It has one plot arc that it's going through. We don't have Adventure of the Week like we did with Mandalorian. And we've got all the stuff that Star Wars, right? You've got the Force being used. You've got uh, lightsabers, space battles, all the things. The music is orchestral music. A lot of it very reminiscent of John Williams music. Really good. Yeah, I'll say, oh, and here we go. Space whales. The Purgle, they look fantastic. They did a great job here of bringing Purgle in. And I like that they call them star whales in a little bit. But Purgle, right there. Of course, this planet is connected to the migration patterns of the Purgle. That's why they're here, and that's we see in the map a connection to their migration as well. And I do think we eventually have a Vong-like narrative. I agree with Seth. I just think it's going to be a little while. Yeah, yeah. I'm doing okay, Ethan. Chatted with you earlier. Yeah, Josh made an interesting comment. The Purgle could be used on Vong scout ships. Yeah, that's when I said he hit the blinkers too hard. Like, no, Josh, these aren't scout ships. They're whales. They're whales. They're actually whales. They're whales, and they've got tentacles in the back. And he showed this picture of some concept art. And the pictures that he showed, it looked nothing like space whales. They don't look anything like Purgle at all, in my opinion. Like, I was like, Josh, dude, lay off. Back down from the blinkers just a little. Like, if you're seeing Purgle in those shapes, you've hit the blinkers too hard. Like, but he did make interesting comments about it. I thought so. Yeah. Right. Let's see if I can get caught up with Mephisto. That was it. Josh leaned heavy into the Mephisto thing, and then he got burned on that. It was very funny. It was very funny. You can still kind of get him worked up on that. Hey, there's Matt Risman. You know what? Matt Risman has hot takes on ice cream. I learned that this morning, and everybody should cancel Matt Risman because of his ice cream beliefs. And it's very clear that there's the right kind of ice cream enjoyment and the wrong kind of ice cream enjoyment. And you can only enjoy ice cream if you enjoy it like I do. If you don't like ice cream the way I like ice cream, then you're canceled. And Matt Risman's definitely canceled. It's good stuff. You guys, it's out of concept. That's sort of like there's more to the story. This is a beautiful scene here too. I love them sitting down, just taking a moment. Let's take a moment. Let's calm down. You can hear the animals in the forest, the birds, whatnot. Really good. Might we see Anakin from a different timeline from World Between Worlds? We're going to see some stuff. We're going to see some stuff, Temple. Yeah. They're hiding in the forest. Are the Purgle a George or Dave creation? Sparta Hunt 300. I believe the Purgle are entirely Dave Filoni. We didn't see them until Rebels, and at that point, George was primarily gone. I can't say 100% that he didn't take it from some of George's discussions with George and whatnot, but I believe that the Purgle are mostly a Dave creation. Yeah, poor Hu Yang. He was slept through the Purgle. You know, that's what always happens when you take a nap during a trip. You're like, wow, that was so beautiful. You're like, what? I was sleeping. 6 hyperdrive engines. They're installing the 7th. It's a hyperspace ring. there was a lot of discussion about this Eye of Sion. Is it going to be a portal? Is it going to be where you can uh, um, just go through the portal and be somewhere else, right? Like a portal. No, it is not. It is a giant hyperspace ring. Why is it so stinking big? Well, there's a couple of star whales called Purgle, right? Star whales, not space whales. You guys have been getting it wrong all this time. They're star whales, star whales. Uh, but there was some speculation that this hyperspace ring is to put like a collar around one of the big Purgle and take it, hunt them down. Uh, could a rumored C3PO appearance be alternative to Leia showing? I don't think so. I think we may get both, Sam. I think we may get both. Yeah, play Ring Around the Chimera, Ring Around the Star Whale. So, and that wraps it up. That wraps it up. I'm going to hit stop the timer. I'm going to turn this off. So, a couple of things. So they were talking about that ring maybe attaching like a collar around a Purgle, and then that way the Purgle could carry them to this other place. I don't think that's the case at all, because what they talked about and what Hu Yang mentioned here is that those seven hyperspace or those seven hyperdrives that are hooked up to it could create like a synergy between them. The power and speed that those seven hyperdrives could create could take them somewhere. So I don't think it's to put a ring on a star whale, a Purgle. I don't think it's to put a ring on a Purgle to take a ride. Why is it so big? There's a theory that I tend to believe that they're making it this big so that it can attach to the Chimera when they get there. So this thing's enormous, and they're going to take it to where Thrawn is in this other universe. They're going to attach it to the Chimera and bring the Chimera back. That's what I believe. Yeah, Ring Around the Chimera. That's right. It's not a wormhole engine, Fitz. It's a hyperdrive engine, right? They specifically said, yes, just Skywalkers. I love it. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole, but yes. Yes, Jedi Mike, 9 out of 10. Very good. Hope we see 3PO, Hu Yang, and Chopper interact. How funny would that be? I would just like to see Chopper interact with 3PO. Because Chopper don't play. Din will 100% show up. Din Djarin. That'd be interesting. I think that you might be onto something, Ryan, that to tie this into the Mandoverse more directly, it would be good to see Din and Grogu at some point. I don't know if they'll do it or not. I wonder if Tales of the Jedi with Ahsoka having a connection to animals was setting up to her reaching out to the Purgle. Ooh, Sam the Sham. You might be onto something, because I completely believe that we're going to see the Eye of Sion get away, and then Ahsoka, Hera, and Sabine are going to be like, oh, how are we going to get there? We don't have an Eye of Sion. Oh, but wait a minute. The Purgle took Ezra and Thrawn. Maybe the Purgle could take us. How do you get the Purgle to take you? Well, somebody's got to do what Ezra did and say, hey, buddies, come get me. We need a ride. That's what Ezra did. So maybe that's what Ahsoka will do. You might be onto something there, Sam. Let's see. Knowing we don't have Ray Stevenson anymore, sad. Exactly. It's tragic, actually. It's very tragic. And I saw mention today that Mon Mothma has actually been played by two different actresses in Star Wars. I hope that the character continues and they recast so that Ray Stevenson's role, I hope that it's that good. I hope Ray Stevenson's role as Balin Shin, Balin not Shin, Balin, Skull, Balin Skull. I hope his portrayal is so good that the fans want more of his character, and he can be honored through that. It's tragic, absolutely tragic what happened to him. I'm 56 years old. He was basically the same age as me, and for him to be taken is really sad, really sad. Uh, you- Dennis showing up because he knows Carson Tava, whatever, who knows Zeb, who knows Hera. Right? I like that. Um, yeah, who is Ray's character if he mentioned Anakin as if he knew him in the trailer? I think everybody knew of Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one. Like whether you knew him personally, you talked to him all the time or not, is another thing. But there's also the mention where he says, Anakin spoke highly of you. So he does know Anakin in some capacity. There's lots of questions then, right? Like, okay, in what capacity? And Order 66, what happened there? What happened there? So would like to see that. Would definitely like to see that. Part of the reason it's got all these droids manning the stations, it takes precision. Hopefully they're better than battle droids driving. You know, Matt, I think about this from time to time. You know, you talk about the precision. Hyperspace, how fast are you going? Right? Fast. Right? Faster than the speed of light, theoretically, right? Again, this isn't science, but what always is interesting to me is that they enter and exit hyperspace by a manual control, right? They go into and out of hyperspace manually. Well, fractions of a second are vast. You've traveled a vast amount of space. Like, if you don't pull that back at the right speed and at the exact time, you're going to be way off your target. Like, why don't you enter and exit hyperspace with your computer? I've never understood that. You're going fast. If you want to get to Ezra, you better put a ring on it. I love it, Will Morgan. I wonder if Ahsoka gets yeeted off a cliff since she's rumored to be in the water. Good question. I don't know. You know, I'm not sure about the whole water scene. I'm aware of it. I'm just not sure of it. Uh, let's see. Does Filoni's EU story building alienate casual viewers? I don't think so. My wife is a casual viewer, and for example, Aya Sion means nothing to her. It barely means anything to me. And that's obviously Dave giving a little bit of a nod to EU while not embracing it fully, right? Because he's not using it in that capacity. So I don't think I think he's doing a very, very good job. Let's see. It says I'm 200 messages behind. Holy moly. There's no way I'm 200 messages behind, right? I hope not. Let me see if I can get caught up. Oh, hold on a second. Something's going on. I'm going to jump way down to current and then see if I'm just back up a little bit. Yeah, use autopilot to stop when they arrive at their destination. Yeah, you would think so. You would think so. So there we go. Let's get into predictions here. We'll talk about a little bit more, and I'll continue to kind of watch the chat. What is this? Aya Sion is Eye of Darth Sion, but bigger. Ant-Man somehow found it, made it bigger. It's been quantum expanded. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Let me share my screen, and we'll go through the predictions together. There's a couple of things I know that I didn't do well on. Oh wait, cancel. Not that. Share. I need to share my screen. Sparta 300. I don't know, and I think Dave's going heavier into EU than you think. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying I don't think so. We'll see when it comes to fruition here. Let me. I need to go back here since we're going to do the episodes. Here's our Wall of Fame from episode 1. We're going to go through episode 3, your predictions. We're going to do that now. I'm going to expand this to make it a little bigger so you guys can read the predictions here. It says, someone will say, may the force be with you. Oh, you know what? I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened. When I was thinking back on it, I was like, oh, wait, I didn't hear that, right? So I'm going to say no gets the point here. So this is how this works. No, wait, yeah, give them a point. No's get 1 point. Nobody said, may the force be with you. Sad. We talked a lot about the force, but nobody said that. Someone will be killed, droid or non-droid. I will say, I changed one answer after yesterday's show. It was based on this. It was based on the space flight battle, one ship firing upon another ship. As I thought about it, I thought, oh, wait, we see ships explode. So I went and changed one answer before I watched the show last night. And this is twice now that Matt Risman has provided some information that made me rethink my answer. so there we go. Yeses get the point. Yes. A droid will be referred to by name. I think we're going to see this every single time at this point because Hu Yang in there and Chopper in there, they're characters. They're not just droids, but they happen to be droids. So yes, I think we will see. I'm going to say yes every single episode to this because I don't think it's ever not going to happen. Let's see. My prediction, we'll hear Vader's breathing at least once as a flashback. We are going to hear Vader. We're going to see Vader at some point. Yeah. A ship will fire upon another ship. Yes, absolutely. We saw that. Yes, let's get the point here. And there we go. Replace all. All right. Question 5. This is when I celebrated at the very beginning of the show. We opened the show with a hyperspace. We're inside the hyperspace tunnel. You see the blue swirly space? That's hyperspace. Yes, we got the hyperspace tunnel. So yeses get the point here as well. So I've missed one question, I know for sure, right? I thought it was almost cringe when Sabine almost said how she'll be able to fight with the blast shield down. No, she said the opposite, right? Didn't she say, well, I could do it if I could see, right? She put the blast shield up. I could do it if I could see. He says, well, yeah, but that's not the point. Put it back down. But there you go. Star Wars almost always opens with hyperspace. No, except it doesn't. It opens in space. Always opens in space. Hardly ever opens in hyperspace. It does happen, but not all the time. Maybe replace with their droid model number R2D2 versus R2. No, it's fine that people can get points, right? I kind of like it where people can get points. Lightsabers will cross. Here's the other one I got wrong. Because daggone it, I was convinced that we were going to see Ahsoka fight Baylan. And we see at the end, Baylan's standing there, right? And he says, go get those Jedi, bring them to me. We know there's going to be a fight. We've seen it in the trailer. We see Baylan there. Ahsoka's there. I go, fight. Let's go. But no, it's not going to happen. So lightsabers cross. This is the second one I got wrong. Those get the point here. Entire place that. Next question. A named character from another show, movie, a comic appears. This told you it was a no. Matt, you know, I try to listen to you, but sometimes I don't. I thought I knew better. I didn't. Matt Risman got it right. His ice cream opinions still suck, though, just so you know. No, I kid. We had a great discussion this morning about this fandom and how people fight over the stupidest things. And so we used ice cream as a replacement for Star Wars and talking about how you can't disagree in Star Wars. You can't disagree with each other as fans because it's just not allowed. You have to fight. That's what it is. Yeah, everyone's wrong sometimes. Yes, exactly. A named character. In the question, Mon Mothma is given as an example of somebody that counts that you could get a point on. Not only is Mon Mothma in it, but Kaz's father is in it. Kaz from Resistance, the animated show nobody watched but everybody hates. That one, that's in here. So yeses get the point here. Yeses get the point. A named character. Matt, I am all the shills. Match the entire cell. There you go. Replace that. Yes. Well, Jason doesn't count. Jason is a Rebels main character, so he would not count as a character from another series. If this is indeed Rebels season 5, which we've talked a lot about that kind of thing, then this would not count. Nikki, this show is very predictable, to be honest. It's quite predictable. Yes, it's quite predictable. But as it's been proven, not entirely predictable, but quite predictable, indeed. Someone will use the Force, observable. Yes, we did see that. So we'll say yeses get the point here. Oops. Yeses get the point here. Somebody did use the Force. We saw plenty of that. Not Sabine, but others. Others. Let's see. Next. All right, just a couple more questions. Question 9, a flashback scene. No, I think there will. And we even said in the flashback, it could be a vision of the future. It can be a War Between Worlds or an actual like memory flashback. And I saw people saying right at the beginning, it's like it set up to have a flashback, but then it didn't. So we'll say no. What? I missed something. I missed something in the chat. Oh, this. I liked Resistance. I kind of liked Resistance. I mean, parts of it I didn't. I didn't care for Kaz. If you take Kaz out of it, the rest of the show isn't bad. You put Kaz in it, and he takes it down a notch. Every scene or every episode, the parts that Kaz is not in is not bad. It's actually not bad. You put Kaz in, ugh, not good. Not good. Flashback scene. So flashback scene, no flashback scene this episode. We know episode 5 is supposed to be heavy with visions and perhaps flashback. That's the Anakin episode, episode 5. So we will say no there. Episode 5 is going to be heavy on the yes. Sparta 300. Doesn't it bother you that Han, Luke, Leia are alive during the time of Ahsoka? There's this huge threat with Thrawn, and they're not mentioned in the same way. Oh, in some way. Does it bother me? Yes. The short answer is yes. The question is, how much does it bother me? There's a couple of things that starts to play into how much it bothers me. One, Carrie, Mark, and Harrison are old. They're old people. And this is a much younger time. And if you were to put, and of course, Carrie's tragically not with us anymore, to put them into these shows, you need them back in Return of the Jedi kind of age, just 5 years older than Return of the Jedi. You don't have them at that age, certainly not the actors themselves. Harrison and Mark couldn't pull that off. The de-aging technology should be able to do a lot of it, but it raises the cost of production really high. I think they should do it via animated series. We should get an animated series post Return of the Jedi that ties into this era, and we get to see them. And I do think, be patient, I do think you're going to get part of what you want. Part of what you want. Let me change this up. I need to go to episode 2. Episode 2 Wall of Fame as we're going through our discussion here. They're moving the story to another galaxy. Only for a short time. We're going to be back. Will Morgan, not involved here. Have a good day. All right, Will, take care. I'll be in touch. Flashback scene, no. A species or droid talks another language with subtitles to translate. That has not happened. It's a common Star Wars thing, but it didn't happen in this episode. Let's get into our bonus questions. We'll see the ghost in a space battle. Ethan, no, we didn't see the ghost in a battle. I think we're going to see the ghost maybe next episode. Hera's going to arrive. We saw that in one of the TV spots, but I don't know that we're going to see it like battling even the next season, next episode. Balin dies. Nerd Mafia. No. The thingamajig that hyperdrive was stolen for is operational. Ducky Momo. Not yet, Ducky. You jumped the gun. One episode, maybe two. Be a flashback for Sabine. See, no. We'll see Jason Syndulla. Yes. Ahsoka will use her lightsabers. Yes. Now here's an example where Debbie, fantastic predictions, but you got to pick one. What caught you here is saying the flashback scene for Sabine. If you just stuck with Jason Syndulla or Ahsoka, you would have got the point. And I'm tempted to give you a half point. You know what? I never give half points. I'll do that. Yes, Nerd Mafia, I did get your redo. We'll get there in a minute. Sam the Sham, he's in the chat. The Tantive 4 will be seen in the background. The Tantive 4 in the background. I didn't see it. We did see a lot of vehicles, but I don't remember seeing the Tantive 4. So I'm going to say no. Ahsoka fights Balin, Jedi Master Fox. I'm with you, but no, it didn't happen. Sad. We'll see the ghost in a fight. There's Fitz. Fitz, no. Nikki, my guess for this one was spot on. Predictable. We'll see. Sabine trains with Ahsoka and gets frustrated. Jump at Jamie. Yes. 8 points. Sabine will paint something. Bouncing Birdie. Bouncing Birdie. No point. She does paint things, and that's a great guess. It just didn't happen. Ahsoka and Sabine training sequence. Yes. Training scene. Yes. Lightsaber fight at the star map. Oh, Brett Phillips. No, we did see lightsabers deflecting blaster bolts, but that's not a lightsaber fight. So no. Oh, Star Wars Democracy with 9 points. That's a very strong. Balin and Ahsoka will fight. No, didn't happen. No points for you. Sketchcraft. Oh, there's Rob. Good to see you, Rob. Thanks. Stephen Murphy. We'll see Mon Mothma. Yes. Seth Nico, Jason Syndulla. Yes, look at that. 8s and 9s. A lot of people doing really, really well. Star Wars Politics with a second. Oh, no. Does Star Wars Politics have 2 in here? No. Okay. Chopper will do something heroic again. No, Chopper was not in the episode, really. He showed up with Jason in the hallway, but that's nothing heroic. Ahsoka continues Sabine's training. Brian Stone, yes. Dawn, Hera pulls some rank on someone. No. Shin in her fighter will attack Ahsoka's ship in space. Baymax. Baymax, look at that. He already had 10. He gets the bonus point 11. Baymax with 11. Oh boy. Good job, Baymax. Hanging out on the beach right now. He's living his best life. Zeb or Rex or both are in the episode. Skywalker's Academy. No. A 9. Mon Mothma appears, yes. So here's Nikki. We get her prediction. Ahsoka and Sabine will discuss Sabine's force sensitivity and her training as a Jedi. Oh, Nikki is absolutely right. She absolutely nailed it. Baymax's prediction was in a teaser. That's right. That's why he only gets 1 point. You get 1 point for using something in a teaser or in a leak. So I've changed the rules a little bit. So it wasn't a teaser. He gets 1 point. Jonathan M. No point. No, he didn't. It didn't give us a bonus. Ahsoka and Balin will face off. Corlo Rin. No, that didn't happen. Ahsoka will duel between Anakin. Leia Rose going for the leak scene. Not yet. Oh, I didn't pay attention. Nikki is at 9 points. Very strong. You guys are all going to be on the Wall of Fame. Fight at Stonehenge. This was me. I said fight at Stonehenge. I thought it was going to be last night's episode, but no. So 8 points is to get onto the Wall of Fame. All of you with 8, 9, 10, 11, you're all on the Wall of Fame this week. Mon Mothma appears. Yes. Shin will pilot. We'll see Purgle. Yes, CCG03. Shin will pilot a ship. Yes. Episode runtime 28 minutes. This Novak. I gave an example. This is a 0-pointer. No matter what, if you got it spot on, still 0 points. It's right in the description. You can't miss it. Balin dies. Nerd Mafia second. No. Oh, Nerd Mafia, you missed the Wall of Fame by 1 point. Didn't make it. Peter Griffin, no bonus point. Mon Mothma says, "May the force be with you." Oh, Mike Yaney went for a 5-pointer. If Mon Mothma had said that, right, we said specifically, if you name a specific person saying a specific phrase, and this would have counted. This would have been a 5-pointer. He went for it. Mike Yaney just missed it. Ahsoka and Sabine have a space battle. Ahsoka, Sabine, space battle. Yes. We will see Mon Mothma. Yes. Mon Mothma receives warning from Hera Thrawn. Yes. KG. This was. She said she got it in late, but we'll take it because KG's. She's a former winner on the show. So let's see. With Dawn Basham, I contest. You can't contest. Oh, you can. But I say no. I say no. Let's see. All of our Wall of Famers. Who are our Wall of Famers this episode? We've got KG on the Wall of Fame. TVC Mackin on the Wall of Fame. Let's see. Novak made it onto the Wall of Fame. Timo, congratulations. CCG, yes. RF Gaming, yes. This is me, so I don't count. Next, Leia Rose. Congratulations, Leia. Made it onto the Wall of Fame. We got a lot of people this time. Nikki, onto the Wall of Fame. RF Gaming, yes. Skywalker's Academy, yes. Baymax, yes. Everybody going for the points. Going for the Star Wars Santa merch. Brian Stone made it onto the Wall of Fame. Seth Nico, yes. Stephen Murphy, yes. Star Wars Democracy, yes. Brian Kelly, onto the Wall of Fame. Jumpin' Jamie, our good friend Jumpin' Jamie, made it onto the Wall of Fame. Congratulations, Jamie. Let's see, who else? Jedi Master Fox. He's been on the Wall of Fame already this season. Guys are doing quite good. And then Ethan Frowen. Ethan, congratulations. You made it onto the Wall of Fame. Good job, everybody. Except Nerd Mafia. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's embarrassing. No, I kid. We're good friends. And talk to Nerd Mafia on a regular basis. So thanks for being here, and thanks for taking the grief. I appreciate it. So you guys, I'll be updating the Wall of Fame for episode 3, and then updating the season leaderboard. We have a number of people who are going to remain on the season leaderboard, as well as folks that are going to climb up onto it. There you go. Temples. Last meme time. Vader, after the end of Return of the Jedi. Luke, don't worry about me. Just force heal me, Luke. Also, Sidious will come back to life, so all of our efforts were meaningless. Very funny. Very, very funny. Thank you so much. We have a Mike Porter dad joke of the day, and Mike Porter absolutely staying on point. Not only is he staying on point with Star Wars, but he's doing a great job of tying these into the show, into Ahsoka. He says, what did General Syndulla think when she heard someone say, "Long live the Empire"? What did she think? Well, she's going to put a stop to it. She won't Hera it. She won't Hera it. Get it? Mike Porter. Thank you so much for the dad jokes, Mike. Appreciate that. I'm yelling your way, Santa. She used her rank. She didn't pull rank on somebody. She went into the Senate and she made her plea, but she didn't pull rank and she failed. So no, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here. We've had a good time reviewing the episode, breaking it down, going through the predictions. I appreciate you in the chat. The discussion's been a lot of fun. And you guys, I hope you have an awesome day. Tomorrow, we're going to have a community stream. If you're one of our patrons, you're one of our YouTube members, you'll get a link that you can join the show tomorrow. And we can talk about this episode as a community. Appreciate all of your support. Appreciate all of you being here. Have a wonderful day. For those of you in Florida, take care. I hope your power stays on and that you make it through this weather event unscathed. You guys take care. And we'll chat with you tomorrow. Until then, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And may the force be with you always. Bye-bye.